Finally got a haircut. You probably can't tell because I never really do my hair for these videos, but that's beside the point. I did shave, so I gave you a little bit of something. How y'all doing? I'm Nick Brengle. This is my YouTube channel, and you are here for the color grading extravaganza bonanza Super Bowl party. Never been done before, ever, but has been done before, definitely. Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen your beautiful faces. Thank you for being patient while I had other work and just life happening on top of gathering all of the clips and getting everything ready for this video here. So if you entered into the competition contest thing, it's really just like playing the lottery. You pick some numbers, you throw it out there. The only difference here is you're giving me something that you made and letting me kind of toy around with it and letting a bunch of other people see it. So thank you for those of you that entered into the thing that we're doing here. There were 7 of you, and it's always incredible to see people engage and interact with stuff on YouTube and social media, and kind of sometimes forgetting that this is real life, but not in the physical form with some of you because we're spread out all over the world. So thank you for those of you, and we're obviously going to get to those clips and talking more about that in a few minutes. For those of you that didn't enter, you missed out. It was free, and you have the potential to win a lifetime license to Dehancer Film Emulation. Thank you again to Dehancer. They're just an incredible group of people over there. They're making something that is revolutionary and kind of stands alone at the forefront of all things film emulation and color grading. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So take that grain of salt, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And then also I'm just throwing out there the Viltrox H18 wand RGB lightsaber light. So there's 2 different prizes going to 2 different individuals who entered into this thing that we're calling the fill in the gap. Okay. So yeah, the idea for this was to just engage in the community and do something that I haven't done before, but that definitely has been done. So what we're going to do is in a second, we're going to go over to the computer, and I originally thought maybe we do a live stream or really extend this thing out, really long video, but I have other videos that I'm working on. I'm also getting ready to go on an extended vacation. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is sitting over at the computer. We're going to go through the different clips from everybody who entered in. So 7 different clips. Everybody sent in 2, and I just kind of picked one and ran with it. And we're going to go through all those clips relatively quickly, again, using Dehancer as our main color grading source because that is who is sponsoring this incredible contest. So we'll be using Dehancer, and then at the end of this video, I will let you know who won the lifetime subscription, lifetime license to Dehancer, and also who's going to get the Viltrox H18 light. So yeah, there's really nothing crazy, but I do want to talk about this setup. This is going to be coming in a future video very soon. The lighting, you may notice this, you may not. For me, it's so obvious because I'm so used to what I do when I'm doing these talking head shots, but the lighting is very different today. So Lume Cube sent me their panel. What is it called? I don't know. It's the Lume Cube. They're like LED panels, and there's 2 of them, and they have barn doors, and they're completely wireless, which there's a lot of pros, and there's definitely already some cons, but I don't want to talk about that today, but I just want to make it clear we are using very different lighting today. We're not using the Godox, and we're not using any kind of big soft boxes. I have a light right here just out of frame, and then I have added 1 layer of paper diffusion in front of it. So this is at, I believe, 15%, but it's all fully, a remote control, which is pretty cool. And there's a light back here out of frame kind of giving me a little bit of a hair light, I guess. So yeah, I just want to mention that really quickly, and yeah, I'm just sort of dragging you along. So if you really just want to know who won Dehancer, obviously you can feel free to skip ahead to the end, but please don't do that. Just hang out with me, watch the ambiance of color grading as I talk about these clips that I didn't shoot. They're all incredible, by the way. I really, really like all of the clips, all the submissions, and also just the kind words in the emails and the things that you've said about, what some of this content means to you and how it helps you to, be more creative and put yourself out there, because that's what it's done for me over the years. So, I just try to be as open as I can when it comes to that. So this video is already too long, so let's go over there. Come on, let's. Okay, so we have 7 clips to go through. The first one is from Daniel Sedgwick. I hope I'm saying that correct, Daniel. If not, correct me with the pronunciation down below phonetically. Just spell it out, because maybe I'm saying it incorrectly. But Daniel sent in a clip that he shot on the Sony FX9. And just to let you know, my iPad's right here so I can keep this flowing a little bit. He shot it on this Sony FX9, and looks like base ISO 800, S-Log 3, with the DZO Vespid primes, which huge props. I love those. Are beautiful, affordable cinema lenses, and highly recommend the DZOs. Rented them multiple times for projects. And from what Daniel said, this was from kind of a low budget impromptu shoot, music video, I believe. It was not a music video, but from a video. We'll have the link down below. You can watch the full video because he sent me the link. To be honest, just the frame off of this shot is awesome. I love the lighting. I'm not sure exactly if it was probably naturally lit. But anyway, so here I have a clip here. I don't know who this man is, but he's pretty cool looking. So I already have each clip. We're going to have it set up, ready to go. As you can see, there's 2 nodes. We're only going to use this second node for Dehancer. If I need to make any adjustments with any kind of white balance or any kind of tweaks, I will do that. But that is not the focus of what we're doing here. So for this clip, as you can see, there's Dehancer, nothing secret going on, and we're going to choose our camera. We know that it's the Sony FX9, which, it's interesting. The FX9 is not in the Dehancer lineup, okay? But that's okay. We can hit FX6, and then we can still use the S-Log Gamut 3 with the base ISO. And so that's what we're going to do. And as you can see, it looks pretty incredible right off the rip. The colors look good. And honestly, you could walk away from it right there. If you look down at our scopes here, everything is pretty well evenly lit, and the colors are looking quite interesting. So what we'll do is we'll go down, let's see, film. What do we want to give this? Let's go Kodak Ektar. Now I haven't even applied it yet. We're just going to say Kodak Ektar. We're going to click on enable, and okay. That's what we have there. Obviously we have our slider, and we're able to push and pull it a little bit. So we're going to pull it more and all the way as far as we can go. And if I just kind of toggle that off, you could see it kind of desaturates the image just slightly, especially in the reds. And we're going to leave that on. I don't believe we need any film compression with this clip at all. If I just hit enable, it's not really doing anything for us. We're kind of go for a grittier feel. This guy seems kind of tough and rough. He's got the gold tooth, and he's like put together but disheveled at the same time, which is kind of cool. And so we're going to go down to our print. Now, do we want to use any Kodak or Fuji print? I don't know. We could, we could do whatever we want. I think I'm going to leave it linear. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look back down at my scopes, and I'm going to go back up to expand. and I'm going to just push up and down my blacks and whites just a tad, just enough, just to push it near that 100 threshold, and then I'll come back down to print and I'll hit tonal contrast, and that's where I'll really push the blacks and whites. Now we can see he's wearing a suit, pinstripe suit, and I understand that here in Resolve, it's going to look different when I render it out of here and put it onto YouTube, and you're most likely it's going to be brightened up just a tiny bit. That's just something that I have seen from the way I color grade in DaVinci Resolve and then uploading to YouTube. And of course, we all know everybody is watching these things on a million different types of screens. I unfortunately have seen my videos on TVs that are just something's going on with the color or the TV itself. And it's really disturbing because it makes your video look so amateur, and it's nothing that you or I ever did. It's just the television and how whoever the person is that owns it made the settings, and it's just not good. So I believe we're going to be all right here because right now, I can still see some of the pinstripes. So we'll leave it there. Color density, it's one of my favorite. The print tool itself, I've talked about many times. I really, really enjoy it. But color density is really nice because I usually bump up anywhere from 35 to 50. And what that does, at least to me, this is what it does, is it brings a little bit of texture out of skin tones, out of any materials that are within the image. And that's the best way that I know how to explain that. If I click this off and on, you can kind of see, if you just look at his face when I kind of add that on, it just adds more texture to an already lively frame. And I really like how it complements a lot of things. Obviously, this is not something you would probably use on corporate material or anything that you need is clean and, no nonsense. But when we're working with actual clips that, were intended to be color graded and made to look as cinematic and as film-like as possible, and not to mention that's what this whole extravaganza is about. So we'll move down from there, and I really like this image. We're going to go ahead and add some film grain. I've talked about this briefly before, that they've updated the film grain tool, and I really like using the 65 millimeter film grain because it's smaller, it's a little more finite, and it's not as overbearing unless you're looking for something. I could easily go down to 8 millimeter 250 ISO, and it just muddies up the image a lot. But hey, if that's something you're going for, a soft film-like look, but we're gonna go for somewhere in between. It's a little bit cleaner. Halation, why not? Same thing. We'll do 65 millimeter. Bloom, we're gonna not use. And film damage for this, we will not use at all. It doesn't really need a vignette. I feel that it's pretty soft and dark around the edges already. So yeah, from start to finish, obviously already an amazing clip that Daniel shot, really well composed and just a cool subject. And you're seeing the final thing there. That's it. So pretty cool. Thank you, Daniel, for sending that in. It's pretty cool. Okay, so the next clip comes from Fabio Brano. Again, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He is from Italy, and it looks like this clip he sent. First off, it's beautiful. The landscape is amazing. I am assuming this was a wedding or something close to that. And he actually didn't tell me the exact camera that he shot on. He just said Sony Alpha. So what we're going to do is do that exact thing. We're just going to go down and go to Sony and just hit deselect. So I believe, and Dehancer could tell me if I'm wrong or not, but by not selecting an exact camera, but selecting Sony as our vendor, that we are getting a Rec 709 that kind of universally works with a Sony camera, especially if it was shot in some sort of log or cine or S-Log 3 profile. And that looks like what it has done here, because if you look at the scopes and everything else that's going on. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't damage the footage at all, which is great because this is not a raw image like, you know, B-raw or anything like that. So right off the rip, it looks, I think, pretty good. And so we'll just kind of work down from there. And I'm not sure what, maybe Kodak Portra. And yeah, Kodak Portra kind of, I feel like the colors in this are like a pastel, like skin tones, you know, like earth tones, skin tones. It's very warm, but also like an inviting clip, and just it's beautiful. So let's go with Portra. And well, we won't push or pull it. We'll just leave it. And as you can see, you know, once you add that, it kind of, again, it desaturates everything and takes away that, looks like a warm, you know, like the sun was really warm that day, and maybe not literally like warm, but the lighting was kind of warm. And so yeah, we'll enable that. I'm not sure. We'll use a little film compression on this just to get a little bit of those clouds back, because the bottom half of the image is a little darker, so we'll kind of complement each other. And then we'll come back to expand as we always do. This one I want to use one of the prints, and I believe we're going to use, yeah, let's go with this Fuji 3513 print. And let's go back before we do our tonal contrast and just ever so slightly mess with those whites and blacks. And then we'll go into tonal contrast. We're not going to add a whole lot, only because it's already a little bit dark, and I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time on these clips, obviously. And then color density, as I said, is just, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you could really jack this one up. Let's just go to like 70%. And then film grain, you know, we don't really need film grain on this. Let's leave film grain off. And then let's put bloom on, because I think the bloom is gonna really help this image pop a little bit. And then we'll do a little film damage on this one, because why not? We'll let it breathe. Although, you know, I cannot stand the scratches. Is that what it is? Hairs, dust. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the scratches and pull these down. Pull those down. And I think, you know, again, if you look at the original, you look at this, I think it's a really cool clip. I think I really do like this shot. Again, definitely naturally lit, and just utilizing everything around him to help frame this up. And it just, I like it. It's a good one. So Fabio, good job. And Italy looks beautiful. So, okay, this clip comes from George in Romania. Wait, is he? Yeah, he's from Romania, currently in Bucharest. And just people from all over the world. It's pretty incredible. And this clip, I'm not sure who this woman is. I don't think he mentioned. Could be his wife, girlfriend, coworker. I don't know. But she is right here in front of our faces. And it looks like George shot this on the Fuji X-T3. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to choose our camera and Fujifilm. Dehancer has the X-T3, and it was obviously an F-log right away. There's our color, of course, just saturated right into the grain. And we should probably go with the Fuji film stock. That would only make sense. What about Eterna Vivid? Let's see if we can do some Eterna. Maybe we'll make this one look a little vintagey, a little old school, maybe a little more, even more film-like. Maybe as this progresses with the next clips, we'll just become more and more film-like. Film compression, we could do a little bit of film compression. Okay, let's do the Fujifilm print. Let's keep it warm, kind of gives it that old school look. All right, color density, jack that up. And as you can see how I'm just kind of moving pretty quickly. Um, 35 millimeter grain, ISO 50. And again, these tools, the film grain, halation, the bloom, there's nothing else that compares to this, the way Dehancer does this. We'll do 8 millimeter halation. I don't think we need no rem gen. Yeah, we'll do, yeah. Let's bump this up to 16 millimeter so it's not as like crazy looking. And then we'll do 65 millimeter bloom. We'll do 65 millimeter film damage, and we'll do everything: the gate weave, the film breed, the film damage. And then as we look at this clip, I think it stays pretty even throughout. That's a really cool clip. What I like about this one is that they're in like this secret place. It seems like this farm, this like really high, tall grass. There's this really neat windmill building in the background. I don't know, but it looks really cool. Looks like they maybe were just out for the day. And so this is a neat clip as well. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And I think as we're kind of rapidly going through these, although the first one or so I feel like I spent more time on, you'll see the before and after of all of these shots. And also, I'll be highlighting everybody's social media and kind of where you can find everybody if you want to see more of their work, because they're all professionals working all over the world. People from Alaska to, I believe, Australia and places in Europe, California, everywhere. So, yeah, let's move on to the next clip. Okay, so the next clip comes from Joe Yates out of Alaska, and I looked a little bit into Joe. Joe, you're pretty incredible. You shoot for National Geographic, I believe. What was it, Life Below Zero? And it looks like you do a lot of work with Native Americans. And I looked into a bunch of your stuff. It's really incredible. So props to you. And this clip is really, really cool. Some of this stuff I just wasn't expecting. I didn't know what was going to come through. And this is some kind of a performance, and it was shot on the Canon C70. And we are going to go ahead and do what we've been doing. So we have a bunch to choose from. There's the C70, and we have log 2 and 3. I don't believe Joe gave us which it was shot in, but I believe, should we go with log 3? It's brightening it up a little bit. I think we'll go with log 3 cinema gamut. Maybe that wasn't what it was intended on or shot on, but that's okay. The levels, aren't too bad. So we'll go down, and I believe I really like Ektar for this just because of the colors, the different shades of browns and oranges. They're kind of like burnt orange and light beiges, and there's a lot of darker browns and oranges and reds in there. So we'll go Ektar. I know we've used that one already, but we'll go with Ektar. We don't need any film compression here. It's indoors. The shot looks great. For print, we'll go Kodak 2383. We haven't used that yet, and that's actually going to help us to give this a more rich tone in the image. I think it's I don't really know how to explain this, but it does something. It's doing something. But we'll go ahead and do the print on there. It kind of makes it a little more rich, and why not? And then color density, as you can see, if you just specifically look at some of the clothing, it just gets more and more dense and textured. And then not too much tonal contrast because there's already a lot of dark around the edges. And pretty cool shot. I mean, right there. Does it need film grain? It doesn't, but we'll add a little because that's what we like to do. I think we'll do like a 16 millimeter bloom. Yeah, we'll do a 16 mil. And then I want to go back up to Film Developer and mess with the contrast just a tad. Yeah, that's just barely doing anything. Let me take a look after the fact. And if we take off the Ektar, yeah, okay, cool. So that just kind of darkens it a little bit. Yeah, this is a really neat clip. So you're seeing these all fully edited. Um, this kind of has a look that it was shot. It looks, it's got that stage lighting that's kind of coming down, and you could see on her face. We don't have film compression, but if now we'll turn on film compression just for the faces alone. And tonal range, play with that a little bit. It's always interesting color grading here because I have lights for myself so you could see me and I can make this look all cool, but then also sometimes it affects seeing what I'm doing. So hopefully I'm pretty blind as it is, so hopefully this is translating. So really cool clip, and let's just let's keep trucking on the color grading extravaganza. Let's just go. Come on, come on. Now we are on to Keegan, and did Keegan tell me his last name? I don't think he did. Keegan, Benn, he did. Keegan, thank you. You actually sent in a Blackmagic Raw clip, which is, obviously that's going to go a long distance here on this channel. But I actually went with the other clip. I thought it was a little more engaging and just had a little more life to it. Not just because there was a person in it, but I like this clip definitely more. And it was shot on the Sony FX3, which I haven't had a lot of experience playing around with FX3 footage. And so, and you're out of Australia. Yeah, Australia, man, other side of the world. So you must know Joel Famularo, the famous Phantom LUT creator, filmmaker, cinematographer, actor, father, just all around incredible human being. And so we're going to go ahead and choose the camera, and we know it's the Sony FX3. Great camera, definitely a good camera, solid camera. And you were in the base you were in 800. Okay, but S-Log 3 gamma. Okay, so there we go. So there's our base, right? Yeah, there's our base, and Kodak Vision 250D. Let's go with that. So we'll go ahead and apply that. I think we'll just leave it right in the center. We don't need to push or pull it or do anything crazy to that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's do a print here. Just because it's kind of neat. Okay. We need to raise. Oh, we need to use some film compression. Okay. Expand. Let's bring this up a tiny bit. Okay. I might have made a mistake here. Maybe we don't need. Let's not use the print on this. I'm not really liking what it's doing to it, because I'd rather have more tonal contrast and color density. So let's do that. Let's bring the whites back down a bit, and then if you see the impact, and again, I know this is not a raw clip, so you do have to kind of work with it and find what you want it to look like. Now the sun looks like it's going down, so I'm going to kind of make it a little darker, kind of the Christopher Nolan look, maybe a little bit, where again, utilizing natural light, although that's not necessarily true. There could be some big, huge lights that are out of frame, that are super soft, that are just helping accent this kind of dark, ominous look. And so as we go down, we've messed with that. We will definitely add film grain to this because I think it will help it quite a bit. So yeah, we'll add that. We'll add halation because halation's cool. And I don't think I'm going to add, we'll add bloom. No damage. We'll do some breathing. And wow, I mean, from that to that. Now you could have went the clean route and made this look, picture perfect, but that's no fun. It's much more fun to give it grain and texture and density and allow people to look at it and think that it was this real thing that happened, not this like glossy, smooth, TV-like feel, like when you're watching any broadcast television show, which I typically do not ever. But you know what I mean. We're not. This is not Euphoria here. This is, ER or Days of Our Lives. We are wanting to make something that looks like a painting or any kind of. I could ramble on forever here. So that's that clip. Keegan, awesome clip. Really like this one. Let's move on. We have two more. We still have two more clips. We've been going forever. So second to last clip comes from Nikolai Shukan. It looks like he is living in California, but he is from Russia. And this again looks like a wedding clip, most likely, and it was shot on the Canon R6 and C-Log 3. Another camera I don't think I've ever touched or played around with color at all. So we'll go in, and there it is. There's the R6, and he said C-Log 3 Cinema Gamut. So we'll go with that. Looks really cool. I would just leave it right there. If this was a wedding, that's it. You've clicked a button. You could walk away. You've already done the hard work and shooting it, so and framing it up. But that's not why we're here. We're here to do what we need to do to this. So I don't know what film stock we're gonna go with. I really love Africa Color, but let's see, Cinema Still, Fuji Color. What if we go black and white on this? Would you guys be mad about that if we went black and white? Let's go black and white. So we're going to go Ilford. Obviously, if you know Ilford film, it's incredible, black and white. I don't think we'll need any film compression. That does kind of help there's something with black and white. Like it can be done really well or really bad. I like to bring down the saturation and everything. So we have the tonal contrast. We're going to bring down this, bring down color density, and we don't really need tonal contrast like at all because it's black and white. And once we add some film grain, you're going to see how neat this can look. Yeah, we'll go 500 ISO. I like that a lot. There's no need to do any halation. We could do a little bit of bloom, yeah, so obviously this was not what would be intended for this shot, but sometimes black and white carries on throughout, generations. Yeah, black and white just has this, I don't know what it is, but you see black and white and you're automatically assuming this is something real and serious and that's something you should probably pay attention to. And so if that makes any sense, that's why we did this. So really cool shot. Love the foreground through the plants, through the little flowers, and this lady looks really happy. So that's really all that matters. So cool. I like it's just yeah. I think we have one more clip. We just have one more. Okay, this last clip is from Toth Mark, who is from Romania. So hello to Romania. And it looks like Toth shot this on the iPhone 12 with the Filmic Pro app in 4K 10-bit log V3. Toth, iPhone 12, that's pretty cool. I'm on the iPhone 13 mini and I don't plan on, upgrading until they come out with another mini because I don't want these big, I already have an iPad Pro. I don't need to carry around this massive phone. So pretty cool. This is our only iPhone entry, and it's always neat to see iPhone footage, and especially from an older iPhone. And, when you're editing with Dehancer and color grading, it really doesn't matter what you shot your footage on. I just got the brand new GoPro Hero 12, which that's a whole nother conversation. But if you know GoPro, sometimes their footage, it's good, it's bad, whatever. But when you start playing around with Dehancer and adding that film emulation, it really just helps. It can help the weirdest footage look really interesting and really cool. And I think that's something to be said here with this clip from Toth because, again, just being honest and transparent, it's just a clip of what looks to be maybe some getaway, like little cabins or this could be a neighborhood. I really don't know. Toth, you could tell me. And so it's just a clip of, just a quick pan of these little homes. And let's go ahead and see. I've never messed with iPhone footage, and I'm going to be honest, me personally have never. iPhone Filmic Pro. Okay, so what did he say? 4K 10-bit log 3. Okay, so we hit that. Boom, roasted. So look at that. All we did was, click the proper whatever, format that we needed, and boom, we get color right away on our footage, and then we'll work kind of down from there. With this, I think I just love Agfa color, and so I think we'll use that. We'll pull it, and do we need to do some compression? Yes. Obviously, with an iPhone, if you're using the standard lenses, it's going to be difficult for it to have that like softer cinematic look. That's just, I spent many years way back, the iPhone 4. I had this really cool rig set up with these little twist on lenses, and I would shoot, we could show those at another time, but it was always really difficult to push and pull the footage as much as you could, because you're not shooting in, this true quote unquote raw format where you can really extend your colors and your whites and your blacks, which now, the new iPhones, you can definitely do that. But you can still work with this, which is really nice. So we'll go Agfa. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll come down to our print, and we'll bring up our color density, tonal contrast, and then I need to bring the blacks up a little bit. Okay. I don't think we'll do any kind of, maybe we'll do Kodak. Okay, I like that. And these also got a bunch of glares from the sun that are kind of coming into the frame, which is neat, which is cool. It's different, it's unique. We're not going to use any film grain, just because I think there's already kind of a natural grain in this image, because the sensor is smaller and there was plenty of sunlight. And so I think you're getting a little bit of that natural grain. We can add some halation, which will help. No film damage, and it doesn't really need any vignetting or anything. But yeah, it's a nice soft clip. Nothing fancy, just kind of showing that the iPhone 12 can still shoot better video than not having any camera at all. So this just shows you, if you have a phone, you have a camera, you can come into Dehancer and you can make your footage look, I'm only spending a few minutes on this. You could spend an hour and make this look incredible and really isolate parts of the image and, push it the distance. So that's it. That's pretty much it. So, Okay, so we've done all the color grading. I'm ecstatic that we had, 7 of you send clips in, and this was a lot of fun to do. I know this is a massive undertaking. It's a big video, but if you've stuck around, thank you very much. Or if you just skipped all the way to the end to watch this part, that's fine as well. Either way, hopefully you're subscribed, because if not, you're going to hear from me again in a minute. But what we have here in front of me is a free wheel spinner, picker wheel thing. I've inputted everybody's name who has entered into the giveaway: Toth, Daniel, Nikolai, Keegan, Joe, George, Fabio. And we're going to spin the wheel. The first prize is the Viltrox H18. And what's going to happen is I'm going to hit spin, and whoever wins, congratulations. And then we'll be exchanging information so I can, send you said Viltrox H18, but also you'll be then taken out of for the Dehancer, because we can't have one person getting both. Yeah, it's just not really fair. It's more fun to divvy it up. So we're recording? Yeah, we are. So I'm gonna hit spin. There it goes. There's a cool sound. Daniel Sedgwick, congratulations. You have won the Viltrox H18 Lightsaber RGB bicolor wand. It's right over there behind me in its case, ready to go. So you won that, and okay. So now we can hide the choice. We're going to hide Daniel, because Daniel already won. Now it's down to 6. This is for pretty much the greatest thing that's pretty much ever been given out on YouTube in any capacity, and that's my opinion, but it's probably a fact as well. So, good luck, because I'm about to click this button, and whoever wins, whoever is chosen, will get a lifetime license of Dehancer. There's not anything else to say. Should we click the button? Here we go. Keegan. And Keegan, congratulations. It was a little anticlimactic, but congratulations. You have won a lifetime license of Dehancer for just sending me a clip. I mean, how much more boring could that be than to get something so exciting? Yeah, that's it. Do you got anything else? I think we have just a couple more messages or something to say, and then we'll wrap things up. So, yeah. One last thing, if you are not subscribed to my channel and somehow you've watched this specific video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and obviously it helps this channel. It helps get my videos in front of your algorithm and in the recommended feed and in places that I don't even know where it's going. Hit the like button. Put a comment down below if you want to see something like this done again, if this was fun. I don't see why we can't, run it back, maybe every, once a year, twice a year. I'm sure Dehancer would be more than willing to give away some licenses here and again, because they're just really incredible, and I'm speechless really to what to say. So yeah, hit subscribe, go create something, and I will see you in the next video, the next one.